Hey everyone, welcome back to the Working Dirt channel. Last time we were working on the campground pool, we were actually demoing it. But in this video, we're going to show you how we go about trenching new electrical lines, pressure testing the pipes, and hooking up our new used fine pool equipment. But I'm going to warn you, don't use lube on your pressure test plugs. All right, let's get started. My first plan is to dig out a little area to put the piece of concrete we've repurposed from the house. We actually cut a piece of the sidewalk or whatever you want to call out over there, and we brought it over here, and that will serve as a nice little foundation for our pool equipment. We'll set that on, and then we're basically going to replumb this exactly the way it is, but since this is all sun beaten, it obviously needs to be replaced, so we're going to replace that. And then we found out the old electrical lines are corroded and bad, so we cannot reuse those. We're trenching a new line and going to run new conduit there, and it's used pool equipment as well, because we are trying to stay on budget, on plan. And because this pool, reminds you, the size of it, if you were to redo this whole thing, you're at minimum looking at like 30,000, and so we're trying to do it for, I think, under 5,000 all said and done with everything, maybe even under 4. And then in 5 to 7 years, we'll do the big shebang. So yes, I know, do things once, do it right, but this is such a big differential between that and we need to get our house done. We are making the decision to bite our teeth and just get swimming. All right, and just like kind of setting up a shower pan, I've shaved the bottom down to native ground and scraped it to get pretty level, as you can see there, to put that concrete slab on. And that's not perfectly smooth on the bottom, I don't think, so it's gonna settle a little bit, but I'm not putting a house on this thing. I'm just putting a couple pool pumps, and so we're gonna wet it right now and then drag that thing over here, set it here so I can start mocking up the whole assembly. There's why I didn't get any trace voltages over at the pool pump, because these wires were corroded at this joint right here. And so we're wondering if our plan was to try to pull these through one at a time and snake, which could still be a possibility, and then we have to have a junction box down here. Finally, we are done digging for the day. We decided to go ahead and dig a trench because, just like we thought, we weren't going to be able to pull the wires out of the old conduit pipe in that corner, so we're going to run new wires, direct burial, to the pool equipment over there, and we're just going to let the water do its job and then pick it out, get a lot of exercise instead of renting a trencher, because we also want to make sure we don't hit any pipes from the old campground infrastructure, water pipes, electrical pipes, all of that. And now we're packing up. It's about 8 o'clock. quick little update on our electrical trench for the pool. We finished digging it, and then we put in the direct burial line. And like we said before, we didn't know where pretty much anything is because they didn't leave any schematics or plans. It's all lost information, so we're just using our best judgment and experience to kind of navigate around areas that we think might be prone to pipes and wires. And so we hit the pipe right here. It was just PVC, so we patched that when we were trenching. And then right here we hit one of the 30 or 50 amp service lines that go to one of the campsites. It's aluminum, so I'm gonna patch that later. But as you can see, the ground's still moist, so to save a lot of labor backfilling the trench, we're gonna use that little tiller right there from my grandpa's. But it runs like a champ because he ran it every year, and ever since we've had it, we definitely do the maintenance and run it in the winter just to keep the fuel good. But that'll break up all the the mud clods and allow us to scoop it in a lot easier. Let's get back after it. That worked out really well. It only took about an hour to get it all tilled up, and now I'm going to grab the tractor to push a lot in the first layer, and then I'll tamp it nice around the wires and the pipes, and then I'll come back and do a second push in, because when you got power equipment, you might as well use it. As much as I like to get an exercise on my back, I think I'll forego that right now. All right, time to get red rock. Update on campsite electrical, and where the trencher messed up on the or cut the 30 amp lines here. We're just doing a little splice action, and technically you're supposed to have splices exposed, so it's an area to troubleshoot if you ever have issues. Put a little Christie box, make it exposed, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna do a really good repair so that you never have to hopefully troubleshoot it. But I will note where we do the repair at on the master plans. So we just rounded off some of these splice connectors so that there's no sharp corners, and then use some anti-corrosive or antioxidant compound on the connector, and then we did a little heat shrink, so we'll be up and going here in no time. I got my utility fill in there, got the topsoil in. Now we're gonna do a little more compacting. Did a few layers, and then this is the final compact. Gotta get these rocks out of the way. Let's see what the old lady's got. Ooh, a juicy light. Oh, that's gross. You can see the fluid in it.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's water, and maybe the light bulb floats in it.
Oh, the light bulb's floating, yeah.
So, looks like we have a little corrosion here, so this wire is gonna need to be replaced. Get a new light, snake a new wire, get this all cleaned up so we can seal a new housing to it. Good job, Boo.
One Allen screw.
Getting ready to wire the pump equipment, and right now I'm checking the light line, because this line comes from over there, and then goes down and feeds the pool light. If I can, then I'll pull new wire through here over there. If not, then I'll run a new line to this, and we're gonna order a new pool light. Pretty cool because it's gonna be LED and have different options, so we can really set the mood. Before we put water in this pool, one smart thing would be to pressure test the lines and make sure we don't have any leaks. So what I did was, instead of buying the kits online that are over $100 to plug your pipes and pressure test them, I just got some plugs. These are about $5 and I had to modify them because there's certain pipes that I couldn't fit them in all the way unless I shaved the outside ring and cut the little wing tips off. And this is another example. This is the suction side at the bottom of the pool. So there's one suction here and two on the sidewall over there. And we're going to turn this. Hopefully it doesn't fall in. Don't jinx myself. There we go. All right, so that should be nice and tight right there. That'll seal that off. Now we can pressurize the line. But the pipe goes down, over, and up to the pool equipment over there. So that's where we'll put a pressure test on it. I'm glad I added this T right here because I knew in the future I might want to use it for a gauge or pressurizing the system, like to clear it out with water. I forgot that it was important to, you know, test your pipes and make sure you don't have any leaks. So we're going to utilize this port with the pressure gauge. We'll fill it up with air, and these are the 3 suction pipes going to the pool, so we can handle all of them at once instead of individually. But if we do have a leak, actually we will have to address each pipe by itself, and in that case what we'll do, we'll turn off one valve, go to its respective port, and then pressurize it from that side and see if that's where the leak is. But on the other side right here, this is where it goes to the pool pump. I disconnected the pool pump, and then I have a plug ball that we're going to stick in here, and you fill it up. I didn't have more of those twist plugs. Those are a lot cheaper. This is like $25, but we're going to put a little of our favorite silicone grease, which makes the world go around, and we'll plug that, and then we can pressurize the whole system. I'm thinking to go to like 40 psi, but I'll probably double check it. Okay, I don't know how much psi I put in that little ball, but hopefully it's enough, or it's gonna shoot out once I get to, I think I'm gonna charge it to, I don't know, 50 psi or something. Oh, so the skimmers, I just heard bubbling in the skimmers. They're connected to the other suction pipes. Interesting. Okay, we might have to plug the skimmers too, somehow. Alright, we replaced the plugs in the skimmers and some more boring information. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Oh, that needle's on the wrong side of the... Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
What happened?
The needle...
It's on the wrong side of the thing, so it can't go past it.
Wonder why that, maybe that's why it had 3 stars. Jeez, we could try this, but this I can set the pressure digitally, which is nice.
Oh.
Well, it's just hard to get it exactly perfect, you know what I mean? Oh shit! If you probably didn't see behind us, a plug blew out. It probably wasn't in as tight or perfectly as the other one. Okay, take number 2. Jeremy replaced or set the plug back in that skimmer.
Oh, my arms smell like worms.
Yeah? Nice. You got worms, dude?
Got worms. That's what we call it.
The worm farm.
That's what we're gonna call it. I got worms.
Oh, dang! Did you see what the pressure was at?
No, I wasn't
I think it was closer to 20. You distracted me, dog. Okay, so now we put balloon bladders in the other ends of the pipes instead of the screw donut things because they have too much grease on them. Okay, so we cut the cover off because this needle was stuck behind this little placeholder right here, and we broke it free, and now we brought it down to 15 psi. I can't have it as high as I wanted. I should have bought a bigger pressure gauge, but nonetheless, any psi should be able to tell us if we have a leak. So we're going to keep it here at 15. I'm going to go around and use a soapy water solution and spray all the possibilities of this location and where I plug to see if air's leaking past that. And if those are all good, then I know any leak will be at somewhere in the pipe system. It's good news. The suction, everything on the suction line held pressure overnight at 15 psi. It's a bad gauge. I think it's 5 psi off. Actually, it's 20 psi. But nonetheless, we're now going to test all the pressurized ports for the sweeper, which is right there where the other tag is hanging, and over there. So, all right, I'm stoked. We just have a few more. We got to test a 3-inch drain line going from the bottom of the pool to the valve outside, and then we just have to do these little pipes that go from the skimmers to the inside of the pool, and then after that we'll be done. And over here I'll give you a little update on our electrical modification if I haven't already. This is some 3-phase box, safety box that I salvaged, and good thing there's no mice. I sealed off every port, but this will be a timer for the pump right here, and then we have an LED controller and an inverter to convert to 12 volts, and then we have an outside plug right there on the outside and a switch. So that'll house and protect all our stuff from mice and the sun. And then eventually what I want, or what I'm going to create, is a little shelter to go over this, because you need a house for everything. And as you can see, another gorgeous day here. Hope you guys are taking advantage of nice weather where you might be at. You got to get out there, pump some iron, do some work. Okay, it's time to pressure test the pool pipes before we fill up with water. But as you can see, we already got some rainwater, and we got a lot of it. And I don't know if we're going to drain it at this point so that we can do our last minute touches before we fill it officially, because that's probably a couple $100 or, you know, $300 to call a tanker truck to fill this to this point. So we might salvage it and just forget about the staining and touching it up. But whatever the case may be, I need to finish pressure testing, and the last pipe I need to test is the drain, going from the drain to the valve down there. I cleaned it up, put it back on. It seems to be tight, and I don't think it's gonna leak. We'll find out. So the goal is to put this little test plug apparatus here in the pool drain. I'm using a pressure gauge that came with the property. I had some extra parts, some shark bite fittings or PEX fittings, and then this Shern 3-inch drain plug. Let's try it out. Oh yeah, check out the water. Damn leaves. Oh, Jeremy gave me these waders, and they're 2 right foots. I cannot believe it. I don't know what the heck he was using. So yeah, there's the drain plug. No bubbles coming out there. And we're at, yeah, probably about 12 psi. That's dang good. Oh, I forgot to put the cap, because a little water does, it can bubble, it can leak there too. It's looking good. Let's go check the drain valve. I'll show you that. See if there's any bubbles coming out of that. So I don't see any bubbles. Don't worry, no one was injured while trying to trench lines or test pipes. It was a minor oversight of mine to use lube for pressure test plugs. I don't know what I was thinking, but in the end we conquered what we needed to, which is finding out if the pipes would hold pressure and getting electrical ran to our equipment. So mission accomplished, and we found out where some underground utilities are. So we're going to put that to the map to help put the puzzle pieces together to this huge campground and one day we'll know where everything is. But tune in next time, because we're going to show you which water level tile we choose and which coating we coat the body of the pool with, which is important because we want to last a long time, but it's a huge pool, so we need a budget friendly option, and we'll let you know next time. In case you have a pool, you can think about it. And thank you for watching. It helps our channel support veterans, trails, and charities each quarter. Until next time, don't grease your plugs. Blah blah blah. Yeah, cross things out, and next thing you know, that's what you get. Okay, cut that part out.